Hi guys, welcome back to Too Young the podcast. My name is Grace, as y'all probably know by now, and this is not a new face.
Nope.
She's been here before. We all know and love her.
Yeah.
This is Sarah.
I don't know about know and love because the last video didn't have the nicest comments about me, but like I'm going to stop saying the word. I'm not saying it.
You're not.
That's
you're not.
good.
You're not. She's going to make a very conscious effort to tone down
The
the F
cussing.
word.
Yeah, just that word. Honestly, that word's my main issue.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like
Every other word, like you barely said any other curse word, but you did say, and I say it a lot too. I've been like trying to say it less on my podcast.
yeah, we need to chill.
It's just like sometimes there's not another word.
It's just so good. It's such a good word.
It's so
I love
versatile.
that word. You could use it for so many things.
You can.
In so many ways.
But we're gonna find different words.
Okay.
We're trying to.
That's gonna work, isn't it?
But anyway, I wanted to bring her back so soon because she's been killing it
Aww.
lately. I know.
She's proud of me.
I'm a proud little momager.
I'm more proud now because it's very hard for me to be proud of myself, which is kind of weird, but like I'm more proud of myself now because like I got that out of my system. We went on a trip.
We went on a trip.
A work trip.
We went to Chicago.
Chicago. That was kind of fun. Stop myself. I stopped myself. That was kind of good.
Anyway, but yes, we just got back from Chicago. We were going to film this there, and then we were going to film it in the airport, and
we
now
never
we're filming
did.
it now because
Yeah.
we didn't sleep
Nope.
basically the whole time we were there.
Not even like a little. I mean, the last night I slept good, but it still took me a minute to like fall asleep. I think
Yeah.
it's because like the adrenaline, like my body was so tired.
Yeah.
But my mind was like wide awake. So I was up till like 3 a.m. and Grace
Yeah.
was just knocked.
Well, okay, I went to bed at 2, so like you were only up like an
Yeah, Grace
hour.
was reading.
I read.
No, yeah,
I
no,
love my
I love
little
I love a good bookworm, but
Look, I've read 30 books this year now. I can finally say that. And
Jesus.
they're all romance books. They're all like little mini movies in my head. I love them. They're super cute and fun, and it helps me manifest what I want someday in a relationship.
I've read half of one book this year, and she's read 30.
Okay, but like I'm trying to like be more conscious about not being on social media as much.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to put my mind on something else, which is a book.
I low-key get it because I feel myself doom scrolling sometimes and I'm like, what am I doing? I caught myself today because I was on Instagram, but I was supposed to be editing a video and I was just like scrolling through Instagram and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I need to be doing something else. Like, do I really care about this person's life that much that I'm going to waste my time to watch it? Probably not. So I caught myself today. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was proud of myself.
I mean, I was in therapy last week with my therapist, and I was talking to her about the frustration I had kind of around this podcast on how I get really frustrated with myself in editing the podcast because I'll sit in front of my computer and I'm like, okay, I have 3 hours to sit here and edit my podcast. And for about an hour and a half of that, I say I actually do edit it. And for the other hour and a half, I'm in between clips, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated at myself because I know what I need to be doing, but instead my mind is going elsewhere and I'm getting distracted. And I was talking to her about that, and she said that's completely normal because on average, your attention span is anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes on how you can like sit down and focus on a project.
Oh.
On average, like the human on average
That's
is 10 to 20
it?
minutes. Before you kind of need a little tiny break and then to go back to it to actually absorb and like retain the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not possible for a lot of people to just sit down in front of like a book, a computer, or anything and concentrate anymore.
Like on one thing. Your mind is
Yeah.
on one thing for that 10 to 20 minutes. Oh my God.
to focus in and like do good work to actually study and retain the knowledge. That's why a lot of when you're growing up, there's a lot of breaks or you're in a
Recess,
class for
my
45
favorite.
minutes. Like if you think about it, like your class periods aren't hours and hours long. They're just
1 hour.
45 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
long because in that time you can probably have like some kind of break. Your professor's pulling up new slides. You know, you're not sitting there most of the time, at least in my classes, for 45 minutes straight, just like slide.
Yeah, literally. And then notes and then homework and then you're done.
You have
It's
little
literally
breaks
school.
in there. So I think that was something that I thought was really interesting talking to my therapist about it because I was getting really frustrated. I was like, I give myself these blocks of time to do this work, and why can't I just sit down and do it? But it's because I'm forcing my mind to do something longer than it's able to.
Damn.
I know. I thought it was crazy.
That is kind of crazy. I don't know.
Anyway,
Chicago was great.
She played her first big gig in Chicago. First out of town, first big gig, more than 50 people.
Yeah, thank God.
It was honestly a vibe.
It was. I had so much fun. Same. I didn't want to get off, but I knew I had to because I was playing for 2 hours and my shins were burning. And I wanted to keep going. It was probably, I would have done it for free. I won't, but I would have.
She won't.
But I would have. I love that shit. Every second I watch a video, I'm like, I've been watching videos ever since.
I know. She literally spent the entire plane ride watching videos.
3 hours.
At night watching videos. And like any second she could, open her phone, watch videos.
Literally. That's all I've been doing. Because I think it's so cool. Like, I had so much fun. So much fun.
It was super. I mean, it was fun for me. Like, I was there as her manager. So I was just making sure everything was good on her end. That, you know.
I had my White Claw.
I was her White Claw distributor. I was her videographer. I was her personal assistant. I was her manager. I was all the things there. Yeah.
Grace is a lifesaver. I've never done a show without Grace.
You've done one.
Okay, I've done one.
But yeah.
But that one, I don't really care about.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I've been there every show so far. I'm your number one fan.
Wait till like one day I play like something like really nuts, like a festival.
Yeah.
Oh!
You know what I'm excited for? Like, don't get me wrong, I would be there either way, whether you blew up or not, but I can't wait for that you blow up and everyone's like, oh my gosh, can you get me a ticket? Can you get me a ticket? And I'm like, I already know I got a ticket because I've been there since the beginning. Like, y'all can beg her all you want. I have like bragging rights.
No, 100%. But yeah, Grace has been there every time. Yeah, it was so much fun. And I told myself before, in my mind, just to myself, didn't tell Grace. I told Grace afterwards because I was like, this is weird. But I haven't had like a really, really like pop-in show like that. Mm-hmm. And I told myself before I went in, I was like, okay, if it's dead, if it's no one's there's like a few people there, like this is my sign. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I need to like change something or do something different, or maybe like do the same thing, just take a different path to do it. I don't know. I was very like, if it's dead, I'm going to be pissed and I'm going to overthink and I'm going to be very upset and just not. I don't know. I told myself that. And if it's packed, like this is my sign to like keep going. Like I'm on the right path. And it was fucking packed. So I'm going to keep going. And
no, it was. Like I'll insert the clip right here. So it did, like, the first hour, I would say.
Yeah,
was like,
which is normal. I expected that one.
It was 10 p.m. Like, who goes out to the club at 10 p.m.?
You're, like, pre-gaming at that point.
So I think that's why, like, I was really happy they gave you 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Because I knew the first hour was probably going to be dead. Like, I was just waiting for people to come in. And people were coming in, but they were hanging out by the bar, which is the same thing they do at my club.
Yeah. I feel like that's, like,
it's
very,
normal. It's very, very normal. And so I wasn't worried. And then the hour mark hit. You saw a couple more people on the dance floor. And then I think it was like an hour and 15 or an hour and 20 is when like the dance floor got crowded.
Yeah.
And
I literally remember I was mixing because I kept looking up, obviously. You gotta like look up. But I was mixing and I looked up after like maybe like 5 minutes and it was like a huge crowd. And I was like, when the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
Like I looked up too, like I kept looking up because there was like a wraparound balcony that overlooks the DJ and the crowd. Mm-hmm. And I kept looking up and there was like people. And I was like, oh my God, they're watching me. Yeah. But yeah, it was so fun.
And what made it even better was we didn't realize there was a second room.
Yeah.
That they could have gone to with an entirely different DJ.
Yeah.
We went in that room and there was like
no one
there. Because everyone was out watching her show.
Yeah, I was shook. Because I went in there and this guy who made my night, shout out this guy, I don't know his name.
We should have got his name.
I know. Or like his Instagram or something. He made my night because he was like, oh, are you Serotonin? And I was like, yeah, that's me.
He said your name.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, how do you know that? And he was like, oh, are you Serotonin? And I was like, yeah, like I just played. And he was like, yeah, I know. It was like lit as hell. And I forget like exactly what he said, but he said he kept like going back and forth to that top room that we found. And then the bottom level where I was, like the main area. Mm-hmm. And he said that he kept going into that room and then wanting to like come back out because he kept hearing like my music in the background. And he just said that he just kept going back out because he didn't want to leave that area. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
that made
people
me so
were
happy.
loving it. Like, there was a point where the music kind of, like, stopped for a minute. Like, not, like, stop like you messed up. It just, like, there was, like, a...
It was, like, a down.
Yeah.
It was, like, doo.
It was, like... And, like, it was, like, a little
to let,
quiet.
like, the crowd, like, chill for a second.
Yeah. And everyone in the crowd was like...
Yeah, everyone was screaming. It scared the fuck out of me, though. Because... Oh, my God, I gotta stop saying fuck. It scared me really bad. Because
scared me really bad.
I had my headphones on because I was about to mix in... No, I think I was mixing in that song.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my headphones on, and I took it off, and it was, like, just instantly, like, ah! And I was, like... And I looked back at Grace, and I was like, oh, my God, like... Oh, this is so cool and fun.
It was like such like a cool moment, especially for me to watch you. Like, like people like cheering for you.
Yeah.
Like that was just like such a cool moment.
I literally locked eyes with Grace. I was like, oh my God, this is so weird.
I was just like beaming in the back, like
yeah, true. And so it was Gianni. Gianni is this producer that I'm working with, and he was there as well. And I played 2 of his songs, unreleased songs that he's coming out with. And then another song that my friend Anthony Sosa, he just released, which was really cool because the crowd really liked Gianni's song. Like, they were like, woo, woo, and he was flipping. Mm-hmm. He was tweaking out. He loved it.
He was loving it.
Yeah.
But because we're on the topic of your DJ stuff, I wanted to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Just like some fun little questions. Nothing too like crazy.
I'm down.
But what is your dream city or venue to play at?
Well, venue, like a festival. That's like the dream.
Like what festival? Like EDC?
Probably like EDC.
Okay.
Or probably something cool, maybe like Tomorrowland or something.
Yeah.
Like in Ibiza. Ooh. Like that'd be insane. Dream City Ibiza for sure. Okay. Because I heard the nightlife there is insane. Yeah. So probably Ibiza and then EDC or like a festival of any type.
Okay. Cool.
Main stage. Main stage at like 11:30, so everyone's there.
Yeah. Like one of like the peak times.
Yeah. That's like the dream. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I can't wait for that day.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so fun.
So then who is your role model?
Like DJ wise?
Yeah.
Who? There's a lot. Because I listen to a lot of DJs. Yeah. And I constantly am just listening to house music. I listen to other things. Yeah. But it's like my mind is like, let's listen to house music.
But like for me, like for this podcast, like my role model is like Alex Cooper. Like love her, I hope to like get even close to how she does podcasts one day. Yeah. Because I just insane. Love how she does it. Yeah. Like it's not even like, I love her in general too. Like love Alex Cooper. Yeah. But also I just love the way she does podcasts and how she makes people feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. And so like that's my role model. Yeah. So like for DJing, like who is like your role model in that way?
For DJing, I think probably, like, the main guys. John Summit, Dom Dalla. I really do like It's Murph right now. I'm, like, on an It's Murph kick. But I have a dream, like, dream DJ. A role model DJ, but also, like, a role model producer DJ would be, like, John Summit. He's insane with it. Or, like, Martin Eichen. Okay. Or, like, anybody that's just, like, the best. Yeah. Because they're just so good. They're so good with it. And, like, the production that goes behind it, the music, the lighting, everything is just insane. And I think it's so cool.
Yeah. So, do you have, like, a goal for DJing? Like, is your goal to, like, put out your own songs, albums one day? Like,
yeah. So, the main goal would be producing my own stuff and having people come to my show to hear my stuff. Mm-hmm. Kind of like John Summit or Dom Dalla or literally any other producer DJ. Yeah. But I don't want to be like just a DJ. I want to be like known for like my own style in a way. So I feel like I have to create that style, which I'm in the process of doing, but it's going to take me a minute. God dang it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, we're all starting from the beginning. Like, I'm starting from the beginning with my podcast. You're starting from the beginning with your DJing. As much as, like, it's super cool that you got to already play, like, in Chicago and other cities, like, you are still just starting out.
Yeah, I'm literally in the beginning stages right now.
So, like, I'm just, like, curious of, like, because, like, I want to be able to, like, look back on this podcast when you do have this kind of stuff one day. Yeah. Be like, look, you did it.
You did it.
You did it. Yay. And so that kind of leads me to my last question. Do you have a moment that you feel like you'll realize you've made it?
Yes. When I know I've made it is when, if I'm DJing somewhere and the crowd is, like, singing your music. Mm-hmm. That's insane. And, like, you turn it down and they're singing your music. Yeah. Or, like, the vocals are, like, anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's when I feel like you made it.
Yeah.
'Cause people actually know you and people actually know your work and stuff. I don't know. I think that would be like, I made it.
That would, like, when thinking about that question, that's what I thought of too. Like, when you have a song that people are like, oh my gosh, like, I know that song. That's Serotonin.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's when I would consider that for you too.
Yeah. I think that would be like really cool.
Yeah.
It'll happen one day.
It will. I know it will.
Manifesting at its finest.
We love manifesting here.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot better at manifesting than I am, though.
Oh my god.
I have her manifest it for me.
It's like, I used to be like a weird person and listen to podcasts only about manifesting. And I used to read books only about manifesting. And I like learned how to kind of do it. I can't do it for like everything, but it's like you have to live as if it's already happening, you know? And it's weird to like get in that mental state. Mindset. There we go.
Wait, is that the word you're looking for?
It's hard to like get in that mindset of like, yeah, I'm like a huge DJ. Like, I'm not, but I would love to be. But it's like, how do you live like that if you're not? But you have to like mentally think of it and have the attitude and put in the work as if you are a massive DJ and massive person.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that. And that like keeps me going a little bit, because when I don't want to edit, when I don't want to like do a set, create a set, whatever, I just think about like, okay, what the hell would Dom Dalla be doing right now? He'd be doing his work and like grinding.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of like keeps me on my grind.
Nice.
And then it goes towards manifesting, so then it happens.
Yeah. So obviously we've talked about DJing. You do have a YouTube channel too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you want to keep doing, or is it's eventually you want to like get away from that?
I think I would definitely keep doing it, because I like to see, even I watch like behind the scenes of just like everything, especially if it's funny. I think that's cool. But I think I'll always do that, because the more I travel, the more I would like people to see like what I'm doing. And I think I'm pretty funny. Actually, I think I'm really funny. It's a little unhealthy, but I think that it would be fun because it's a personality and kind of like a talent. So it's, I don't know, it goes hand in hand. I feel like it'll both go together. Yeah, I'm literally No,
you have
but
blonde hair, so
I do. I don't have a wig for like the brunette.
yeah. I'm gonna hate editing that.
Yeah, you are. Sorry.
That's okay. I did it to myself. I hate ASMR stuff. Like, if I'm editing and I hear something that just sounds like ugh,
like a gulp.
I don't know. I've just never liked it. Never liked
ASMR?
ASMR like sounds like.
I don't get it.
I love my mother, but my mother is one of the loudest like drinkers and eaters I know.
Same with my mom.
And I'm like,
I think it's all moms. I'm like, please stop. Like when they're eating soup. Oh my god, like shut up.
Yeah.
Please. Like I can't deal with that.
Honestly, like those ones irk me and ick me. My like one that like I will literally like jump over a table to like tackle someone to stop doing is if they like bite their spoon or fork or knife.
Like the like against the teeth, like
yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
though.
no, it's when they take the bite.
Anyway, yes, no. Well, now that we're both talking about drinking.
Oh, you know what time it is.
I got a really fun segment on this little podcast where we all take 5 big sips of water. Shout out Remy Ashton for this segment, and go.
Cheers. Wait, what the hell?
Sorry.
Swallowed some air.
Love my little segment. Not sure if anyone else loves it. I really haven't gotten much feedback on my podcast because everyone, I think I said this on my Get Ready With Me, a lot of people, and I'm not sending any hate, I know people have other things going on in their life and world,
yeah.
So I don't expect everyone to listen to every podcast, but I still have so many friends. This podcast has been out for over a month. They haven't even listened to one episode when they said they were going to.
Fucking... He literally said it at the table.
No, yeah.
He was like, I've been wanting to listen to it. And I'm like, why haven't you?
He has, I have a whole list of people. I keep track of who's listened to it and who hasn't. Because all I want is just, one episode. Just listen to one. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But it's, really heartbreaking when I have a lot of friends who I love and care about. And, I would do anything for them. I'd go to their events. I'd go to their bars. I'd go to their work. Whatever they need me to do. And they haven't listened to one episode of mine. When you can literally do it in the car, cleaning your house, anything.
Doing literally anything.
It is kind of frustrating. Like, obviously, the only person I can control is myself. So at the end of the day, like, I only let myself get a little upset about it.
Yeah.
But it is still a little upsetting.
It is upsetting, but that shows you how that person is.
Yeah.
I watched the fucking podcast.
You do. You, Julie, and my mother are, like, the 3 people I think who have watched, as, like, that I know have watched every episode.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
it's like, if those friends are not supporting you, they're obviously not your actual friends, and they're not thinking about you like that.
yeah.
And you need to care less about them and not do as much. But the thing about Grace is she is, like, the best friend to have because she really, like, cares. It's not like she's faking it. It's not... She, like, genuinely cares and sometimes a little too much about people that don't deserve it. And it kind of frustrates me because I'm like, why are you putting all of your little eggs in this one little basket that is... They don't really even care about it. Like, they'll literally tip over the basket if they could. But, I don't know. Just, it frustrates me because she's a good friend and she doesn't deserve how many people have fucked her over. I'm allowed to use it now.
Yeah, you can use it there. and I realized that. I think it's just how I grew up and how I was raised was just to care and be there for people.
Yeah. But you actually care about people, though.
Yeah. And I do, and I
like,
think
too
that's
much.
what, like...
This bitch has 7 jobs.
I do. I do have 7 jobs.
She can't say no.
It's so hard for me to say. I'm taking a step back from, like, 3 of them. And one of them's technically not even, like, solidified yet. I just talked to the person about it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even, like, that person, like, he kind of fucked me over.
Kinda. And you're still doing favors. This is what I'm saying. You're still doing favors after they showed you what type of person they are.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
We've talked about it. We've moved past it. But, yeah, that was... I almost stopped being friends with him. Like, I definitely contemplated, like, not helping him out on doing all that stuff. But I believe he's a better person than that night.
Well, I love him. And he's a great... he's, like, one of my besties.
He is.
And
I think that's another reason why I was willing to give him a second chance in my friendship. Mm-hmm. Because I was like... It was just a friendship. Friend. It was just a friendship. I know we're talking about a boy. It was just a friendship. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I think that's the only reason why was because... I knew, like, he really is a good person, and me and him have had a lot of really good talks.
Yeah,
and I knew he's, like, a really good friend to you. So I was like, this person that you showed that night was not his true character. Mm-mm. And he apologized profusely for it. So I was like, okay. I gave it some time. He reached out to me about the job opportunity, and I felt like I was like, okay, I'll give you one more chance. And I don't do that often anymore.
Yeah.
But I was willing to do it for him.
Yeah.
Because I do care about people. I do... put a lot of myself into my friendships. And so when people really easily, like, screw me over, I've stopped giving so many second chances anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm going to cut them out of my life entirely, but...
You're going to distance yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not going to be the same, but we can still be cordial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when
I believe in second chances, though.
I believe in second chances.
100%.
I just don't think everyone deserves a second chance.
It depends on the situation, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Like,
because everyone makes mistakes and everyone
1,000,000%
has those times where you're just like buck wild and going crazy and it might affect one of your friendships and maybe it's just something they're going through. And I think that, or relationship, either or, like it's, I think people deserve second chances because everybody does make mistakes and it's inevitable. Like, everyone makes mistakes.
I think the way that I've decided moving out here, because I've given a lot of people second chances, but it's how they react to the problem. Like, if, like, say, like, me and you get in a fight, right? And, like, I was in the wrong.
I have an example. Okay. Say, I introduce you to a friend. Okay. And we're all 3 friends. And then you, like, cut me off and hang out with only that friend.
Okay.
And then you come back to me, like, a few months later, like, hey, like, we're not friends anymore, whatever. We had a falling out. But if we didn't talk during that time, I would 100% give you a second chance. I'd be like, yeah, I don't care.
But I think
I would let it go eventually.
So, like, yes. So, 2 scenarios of how, like, I would come back to you.
Yeah.
The first one being, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. Like, I totally didn't realize how good our friendship was. Like, I shouldn't have cut you off. Yeah. Like, I really regret the decision I made. Yeah. Like, if I came to you back like that, you would give me a second chance. Yeah. Now, if I came back to you like, well, why didn't you talk to me? Why didn't you try harder?
Then I would have been like, bitch, this is all your fault. Exactly. And then I would be upset, and I'm pretty sure we would hash it out. We would talk our shit, go back and forth, whatever. But I think that eventually it would come to a, like, good terms and being like, okay, like, I get it. Yeah. Whatever. What happened. Let's move past it, and hopefully we can get back to the place that we were before.
Yeah.
But it's like...
But it would be a lot harder the second way than the first way, because I'm taking accountability for what I did, and I'm apologizing for it, rather than being like, well, why didn't you do anything?
Yeah. Second chances do take a lot of work. In a relationship, in a friendship, everything. It takes work and time to move past what someone did to you. Yeah. Like, you're eventually gonna forget about it.
Yeah, eventually. But, like,
and people do change, so.
Like, if I barely know the other person, and they do something, and they don't take any accountability for it, I'm not going to give that person a second chance.
Yeah, if I barely know you, you're probably not going to get a second chance.
Like, I'm talking about, like, people, like, on, like, a surface level, maybe a little bit deeper. Not, like, best friends or relationships or anything like that. I'm talking about, like, where, like, I barely knew her. Yeah. You know, like, we got along really well, and then stuff happened. I don't really care to give her a second chance.
It's because you saw her true colors that early. Yeah. You didn't, like, go on a deep level and then see her true colors. It was more like, okay, like, I barely know this chick and she's already doing this, so maybe I shouldn't get as close as I wanted to.
Like, every time I see her, I'm still going to be, like, happy and like, friendly and, like, you know, I'm still going to talk to her. I'm not going to, like, you know, like, treat her like she's an awful person. She didn't do anything necessarily, like, awful to me. Yeah. But, like, I'm not going to choose to get closer with this person or give them a second chance in how I care about my friends. Yeah. To someone who showed me their true colors that early. Literally. That's what I mean by that.
I think it's hard. It was really hard for me with, like, because me and were, like, very close. We were so close. Yeah. We went on trips together. We literally hung out almost every day of the week at one point during the summer, like, beginning of summer when there was nothing really, like, I mean, everyone was out of school. Yeah. So everyone's going out every day. Yeah. And every single day, like, we were together, talk about literally everything. Mm-hmm. And then, like, it kind of took a turn. Actually took a hard left out of literally nowhere.
180.
Literally nowhere. Yeah. And I was just very, like lost. I was in the dark. Like, I had no idea what had happened. And I don't know. I think that really was hard. And I think I would 100% give her a second chance because I don't even know what really happened and why it happened. Mm-hmm. But, like, I would 100% give her a second chance because we were so close and it wasn't that bad of a situation. It was just very, like, weird and, like, what the hell just happened.
I don't know, second chances are, like, it's, like, a really sticky subject because I know people who, like, will not give a second chance. You fuck them, I have no other way to say that. You fuck them over, like, they're not going to give you a second chance. Yeah. And
those people are hard-headed as fuck and they don't have a lot of friends. And because people make mistakes.
It's also, like, scary being friends with them. Like, what if you make a mistake? Like, are you not going to give me a second chance?
Are you
like,
going to be mad at me forever? Yeah. Like, it's kind of, like, I don't really want to be friends with people like that. Yeah. Because they're very, like, okay, whatever. Like, don't care. And they obviously never cared about you. Because if it's easy for them to cut you off or fuck you over that quick or that, like, dramatic, it's, like, what the fuck? Why would I want to be friends with you? Yeah. Like, if you're going to do that every time.
Like, I don't know. I guess I just want to, like, clarify. It's not that I don't give out second chances. Yeah. It's just it's selective. Yeah.
Ah, Jinx, yummy soda. We talked about a lot just now.
We did. I feel like it was, like, a very quick, like, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. But it flows.
No, it does.
We're just having girl talk.
That's what most of my podcasts are. If y'all haven't figured that out by now.
And it's so good to have. Yeah. If you're a girl and you have a female audience, you know how much more not to, like, friggin' out anybody. Mm-hmm. If you have a girl audience, they are so much more loyal and so much more giving. Like, they'll buy your shit. Guys just want to see you look hot. Yeah. If you're a girl and have, like, majority guys watching you, they don't really care about you. They're just looking at your face and maybe your body.
That's why, like, I'm wearing a hoodie with, like, I literally put on some concealer and I put my hair up. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love my guy friends. I have so many amazing guy friends in my life. I've talked about them before.
Oh my God, I love my boys.
But, like, do I think that they're going to relate to the things I talk about on my podcast? Yeah, absolutely not. So, like, that's why for them, I'm like, honestly, just, like, turn it on and, like, mute it. Like, I don't...
Just let me get the view.
Let me get the view. Like, that's all I care about for
like
you.
It, like, subscribe, and we're good.
I mean, like, if you want to listen to it, great. Thank you so much. But at the end of the day, like, I don't care so much about my guy friends watching it. It's more my girlfriends because I feel like they relate. They relate. We've had these talks. And so, I don't know. When people ask me, they're like, well, who is your podcast for? I'm like, I mean, it's for anyone. Anyone can click and listen to this podcast. Yeah. I'm not, like, saying, like, if you're a dude, like, you can't listen, or, you know, if you haven't gone through X, Y, and Z, you can't listen. No, everyone can listen because I feel like the overall arching topic of my podcast is very relatable to anyone. Yeah. But episodes like these, or episodes where I am just kind of talking, those are more for my, like, young adult female audiences, because we're all going through probably about the same kind of stuff right now. And so they can just relate more.
Yeah. And I know a lot of girls that are in the exact same, not the exact same boat, but, like, in the same boat where it's, like, you're still kind of figuring out life. Like, we're both still kind of figuring it out. Like,
oh, my gosh.
We're still trying to make it happen.
I'm working 7 jobs to try to figure out my life right now. Like,
so,
I don't know what I'm doing. I just know, like, I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to get out of the hospitality industry so hard that I'm doing everything I can to set myself up financially better, to set myself up career-wise better, to, like, just do anything I can while I'm young to set myself up to live a better life than being a bartender for the rest of my life, because that's the last thing I want to do.
Same. That's like I look at these girls still not dating anybody, still working as a server or a bartender, and I'm just
still
like,
relying on sugar daddy after sugar daddy.
Exactly.
And I'm
girl, like, what? Like, that is my biggest fear, is being older and still doing the same shit.
Yeah.
If I don't progress, I'll probably just drop everything I'm doing and just, like, get, like, an office job.
I'd rather go back to school and start over and, like, try to be, like, a doctor or
something cool.
Like, literally go back to school for another, like, 10 years when I'm 30, then...
And that's so scary because your dream is dead.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
But at the same time,
my
like,
biggest fear.
Hospitality industry is not fun.
No.
Like, the amount of things I see on social media of people talking so much shit about the hospitality industry and, like, well, I feel like I shouldn't have to tip and pay your
it's like,
whatever.
that's our living.
I'm like, do you think I want you to tip? You think I want to rely on you tipping me to pay my bills? Because I don't. But at the same time, I went to college, I got a degree, and my degree, like, the jobs I found in my degree pay half of what I make this year. Like, my friends who work a corporate job still have to serve, still have to bartend.
Exactly. Like, it's like living nowadays, and I tell my mom this all the time, is so much harder and different than it used to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like the past generation, like, our parents don't know how to give us advice because they don't know themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, even they're a little bit still lost.
Yeah.
Like, they're still trying to figure it out. And that's what's so scary, is, like, seeing these older people still lost.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think this is going to last, like, a little bit. But it's like, so it does last for a while.
Yeah. Especially when you're living it. Like, after COVID, everyone's been struggling so hard.
Yeah.
And I talked about that a little bit in my last episode with, you know, just trying to figure out what to do after COVID, because I couldn't go into my major. And when I could go into my major, it wasn't what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do, I didn't have the experience to do, but I had no way to get the experience. It's like, we all got kind of robbed really hard.
Oh.
Like, our age.
I did not have a high school graduation.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't have...
Mine was virtual.
I didn't have the last part of my college career where I'm supposed to be getting that, like, real-world experience.
Yeah. I remember I was going into my freshman year of college, and it was middle of COVID. Like, the worst part of COVID. And when everyone was still, like, freaking the fuck out. Mm-hmm. I remember I obviously needed to go to school. Wanted to go to college. Was going to college in my hometown. And they wouldn't let me on campus because I didn't have a vaccine yet. And I was like, but I need to go to school. They were like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
You literally can't. And I was like, what? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I did it online and then ended up moving to Texas and then did more online. But it was very, like, not the correct experience in how to go into that next chapter of your life.
Yeah.
It was very, like, confusing. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I don't know. It was just very weird. And I think that's why a lot of people didn't go to college in my year.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what do we do?
Like,
you know?
It was about, like, 3 years worth of, like...
What's going on?
Yeah. And so, graduating during that, I remember I had multiple conversations with my father, and he was like, well, are you going to apply for jobs in PR? And I was like, I'm trying. I applied for over 100 jobs. Yeah. And I'm not even, like, exaggerating that number. I think it was closer to, like, 150. I applied for so many jobs. Yeah. But companies were either struggling to keep their own employees, had already laid off employees, weren't hiring. Yeah. No one was hiring. So the only thing I could do, the only thing my resume had on it was bartending.
Yeah.
Was in the hospitality industry.
So you're like,
And
how
then-
am I supposed to get experience if I literally can't?
Yeah.
And people are literally not hiring.
And then now
So
people are
weird.
graduating and they did get the internships and they are getting those jobs and I'm trying to apply for them at the same time they are. It's like, well, they
Yeah.
have a 2-year internship. So you've just been a bartender. And I'm like, because what else was I supposed to do?
During that time where everyone was locked in their house.
Yeah, I'm like,
You want me to get a new job? Like, no, I can't. Everything's shut down.
yeah, so.
I think we were definitely fucked over in that time.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
And our
that's why
generation is just...
It's frustrating
dealing with it.
hearing videos of people who are older being like, I think this generation's just lazy. And I'm like, I work 7 jobs. I don't fucking sleep.
And I do think some people are fucking lazy.
100%.
I think it's 50-50.
I was out there still trying to find work. I was still trying to figure out how to get in PR. And I have a lot of friends who want to get out of the industry. They just don't know how.
Yeah. It's
And so-
really a weird time in life
Yeah.
right now. And I think that getting advice from older people doesn't do anything because they grew up in a time where everything was A, a lot cheaper, and B, there was no social media, there was no
Yeah.
YouTube, there was no TikTok where people can make thousands of dollars
Yeah.
a day and be at home.
Yeah.
Like, that's so weird to them. They're like, what are you doing? You're making TikToks
Like, you're
for your
just
living?"
lazy.
Yeah. Like, my mom doesn't really, she gets it because she was in the industry, but she doesn't get how these people, like, she doesn't think that people can make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and be crazy rich off of the internet.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's internet money, bitch.
Yeah. I mean,
like, I love her to death and I love my parents, but I don't think that generation really gets it.
no, my parents don't get it. I mean, I've been addicted to my phone since basically I got a phone because I've always wanted a phone. I was like, oh my God, phone.
Yeah.
And then I grew up, like, seeing the first iPhone come out, and I wanted that.
Like,
but
seeing
I didn't,
MySpace.
Yeah. Like,
I did. I remember when
No,
MySpace was a thing, and my sister had one.
Yeah.
And my mom kept getting mad because she wasn't allowed to have one, but she kept making new ones. And it was just fun to see how, like, the transition and, like, MySpace to, like, now is crazy.
Crazy.
Like, within that span of time, like, what's going to happen in the next, like, 10 years?
I mean, I
I'm
know
so
I'm
scared.
not alone on this. I'm terrified of AI.
I'm so scared of AI. I think it's
terrified.
going to end the world. I think that's going to be the thing that ends everything.
I'm
It's way too weird and smart and
It
techy.
just got so smart so fast.
So quick. And even Elon Musk said that this is going to be, if we don't stop it now, it's going to be the end. Like this is it.
I get the benefits behind it. Don't get me wrong. I've used ChatGPT before as well.
Love it.
It's so smart. But at the same time, I'm like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
I should not have this much information this quickly, this accessible.
Yeah. And I think it's also messing with the people in school.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Because I had a friend, we were on vacation, she had to write a 10-page essay. And she told me about it, and I was like, how are you going to write? We're literally going on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to write a 10-page essay right now? She did it in 5 minutes because ChatGPT did the whole thing. And I was like, bro.
Aren't they like, remember how when we were growing up, there was plagiarism software?
It's
Isn't
not
there?
a thing.
No, I think that is now.
But, well, for some. I think it's like if they check it. She was telling me about that because I was like, isn't like that plagiarism? But it's literally not.
I think it's becoming more of a thing, especially in colleges, because they know.
I feel like the higher up colleges, I feel like they're probably have something to check it or something.
Well, when I was in college, we had, I forget what the website was called. We had a website, and basically every teacher put out their assignments on this website, and you had to submit them on the website.
Yeah.
And so
What was it called?
I don't remember what it is. But anyway, so anytime you submit it, it automatically checked. Like, it's not, you didn't have to like press a button. It was like automatically checked, and it would send the report to the teacher.
Yeah.
And I know all of my friends who went to different colleges used the same exact platform. But yeah, I think it's like, I think now, especially with how big, like, I think it's for like the bigger AI platforms like ChatGPT. What are the other ones? There's like a bunch.
Just like AI in general.
Yeah. I think they're like
so scary, and I think it's making people dumb because people aren't figuring out how to actually say something properly. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also affecting like our speech, the way we talk.
People can't read or write as good as they used to.
No, wait, my grandma is so smart. She reads so quick, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I don't get it. But also, they didn't have a screen they could look at all the time. Someone they can ask for answers for everything and anything. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a different world we're living in, and it's hard to get advice at this age.
Oh, it is. And that's why, like, it's frustrating why I kind of created this podcast when I'm trying to ask for advice from these older people, because that's what you've been told to do your whole life.
Yeah.
Ask someone older than you. Ask an adult. Ask someone older than you. Ask, whenever you were in school, ask the people the grades above you.
Yeah.
That's what you're always told. So when I ask people and they're like, oh, you're too young to worry about that. You're too young to ask those questions.
Too young.
I got really upset about it. I was like, why am I too young when I'm trying to figure out life? Like, I don't understand this. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I get, you know, like when you talk about a boy and you're like, oh, you're too young. You still have so many.
Yeah, like the immature shit.
I get that in a way, but it's also like, if that's something that you're looking for, if that's something you're wanting in life,
Yeah.
still, why are you too young?
Yeah.
I know people who married their middle school sweetheart. She's
Holy
married
shit.
to her middle school sweetheart, and they are the cutest couple ever. I love them to death.
God,
She has,
I hate you.
she has like 3 flower shops in
Yeah.
Texas. She's killing it.
Yeah.
And she's married to her middle school sweetheart.
That's crazy. Can
And
you
her
imagine?
sister is married to her high school sweetheart. Her parents were married as high school sweethearts. Like, that's what their family, like...
God, I fucking
Is.
wish my family's the complete opposite. What the hell?
like,
We're
but-
a mess over here.
But, like, why is that a bad thing? Like, people,
Yeah.
like, look back now and they're like, oh my gosh, aw. But in middle school, I'm sure she was, like...
Getting
told
hate, yeah.
that,
Like, you're not gonna last, you're too young.
Yeah, you're too young. Like, it's not... Like, but why?
Yeah, literally why? So she's only slept with one person? Has he only
I mean, I
slept with
think
one
so.
person?
I don't know, like, the
They didn't
entire...
break up at all? Okay, because that's crazy.
I mean, they might have, but at the same time, they still went back to each other.
Imagine only having that one person your whole life, since you were little.
I mean, one of my first ex, he dated me
crazy.
in middle school and then dated a girl in high school and married her. So he's only ever been with me and her, and we didn't sleep together. So he's only been with her. We barely kissed, too. It was like when I was in middle school. I thought that was like, oh my
You're
gosh,
like,
crazy.
Oh my God,
I was like, I
that was
kissed
my first
the boy.
kiss was in middle school.
Yeah, so he's done everything with this girl, and she's only been with him, too. Like, only boyfriend she's ever had, too.
Yeah, when was your first kiss?
In middle school?
Yeah.
Or
I feel
no,
like
maybe it was
everyone-
like freshman year.
Mine was 7th grade. At a dance. I'll never forget it.
It was either 8th grade or freshman year. It was one of the two. But anyway, this was so fun. I'm so glad I had you back on.
Girl talk.
We love girl talk. We
We
love
love
having
it.
Sarah on the podcast. I told you she's going to be back multiple times. So
Yeah. No,
this-
I love it. I love podcasting. I think it's fun.
I like, there was a part of me that almost asked if you would do it with me. But I'm glad you're just like,
I want to be a guest.
Yeah.
I think you need your own thing.
yeah.
I would be freaking out and being like, no, like, no, like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think it's good that because like, you're like, what's her name? Laren? Like, Alex is Laren?
Lauren?
Lauren?
Yeah.
I call her Laren. Because that's what Alex always called her.
I thought it was Lauren.
I don't
Laren.
know.
Whatever. Lair.
She's her to me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just like having you on. So thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And thank y'all for watching another episode of Too Young the Podcast. I will see y'all next time. And never forget, you're never too young. Bye.
Bye.
Woo!
That was good.